Hi, Yao-G here, and welcome to part 2 of our Star Wars Space Station Boss Battle Arena build video. We've essentially built the arena now, and it's just time to put all the creativity toys together and get the boss or the AI enemies spawning and battling away. So I think we're about set to put the creativity toys in now and set up the boss. So we'll jump into the toys and we'll head up to creativity toys. Now we'll make it kind of funky. We'll have a trigger area, so when we run along the corridor, as we run through the trigger area, it's going to spawn the boss. It's quite a nice little effect, and I've not got the music on here, guys, but obviously once you put your music on, your Star Wars theme music, and you get your boss spawning, a bit of Darth Maul with a lightsaber in your hand, it's all going to, have a bit more atmosphere. Now this is the awkward bit, because I'm sat quite a way back from the TV and this thing really pans out. I think that little corner bit, okay, I'm going to take a guess. We can always move it after. I'm going to position that there, and we're going to have to wait for a second because this boss fight spawner just, I don't know, it sucks the memory dry or something. I'm not quite sure what the problem with it is, but there we go. So it's finally kicked back into action, and we'll have a camera, because it's nice. We'll have a camera kick into action once you come into the trigger area, and as the boss is spawning, the camera will be looking at the boss. You've seen it. If you've seen any of my AI boss battles in this arena, you'll know what I'm talking about. And we'll use a locator for that as well, just to tell it where we want to look. Yeah, a little bit awkward. I guess there. And we'll just link that up while we're here. So we'll jump into Spark mode, go into the settings, and as far as I can remember, new locator. We'll link that up. Yep, camera target, and you've got to go back into the properties. It's a bit tweaky. And we just want to set it to camera type. I think it's focus, and camera target, connected locator. That's the important one. That was it. I remember now. It's been a while. So then we'll link the camera up to the trigger area. It's all pretty simple, this, guys. There's not too much to it. We'll just go into settings, new logic connection. When it's entered by the player, and we'll choose player 1. You could choose any player if there's going to be a couple of you running in. And we'll just link it up to activate. There are a few other settings on this camera if you wanted to do it. You can actually set the display duration. So I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to bring that down to 5. And the end transition, the one I like personally, is the swing. So it kind of swings back to you after it's zoomed into Maul, or looked at Maul, or whoever you're spawning. I don't know why I said Maul. I use Maul quite a lot. So that's it. That's the camera setup. Next thing to set up is we want the boss to spawn when we run through the trigger area. So new logic connection again when it's entered by player, and I'll just set that to enter. Doesn't matter as long as it's the player. You don't want somehow the boss to get in there and spawn another one. And we just link it up to the boss, fight spawner, and set it to on, and that's it, guys. I think we're good to go. So we'll test it out. If I can do it and come out of Spark mode without deleting anything, sometimes I find quite difficult. Oh wait, the one thing we do want to do, let's select our boss. Who we're going to have. I've got a sneaky feeling he's going to actually spawn the wrong way around, so whoever it may be. Go to your properties on the boss. I talk about him so much. Let's set it to Maul. And because I can, I'm going to go into my tools. I think it's packs. I'm going to select the lightsaber. Incidentally, guys, if you've not got the lightsaber, you you can unlock it by completing any of the Star Wars playsets. So as long as you've completed one of those Star Wars playsets, you'll be able to select the lightsaber in the tools. I'll just delete the sky changer because we don't need that anymore. And let's test it out. Let's see if it works. So, welcome to the toy box. This is going to be a battle between Hero and Darth Maul with lightsabers. And yeah, okay, so he spawned kind of with his back to us. I'm not a great fan of that. And I guess the camera could be a little bit closer. Also, something's not quite right with the 5 seconds. Not entirely sure what that is. It's a little odd. So I'll just tweak that. And one thing you can bear in mind here, guys, is reset gameplay. You know, it's just going to respawn everything. Boss is gone. So we'll just get out the wand here. We'll move it. Now this is going to be a little bit awkward because he kind of spawns 3 blocks back. I'll explain a little bit more. If you were going to use a team activator and you want the guy to fall on the team activator or the boss to fall on the team activator, you have to put that team activator 3 blocks to the right of where the middle of that boss fight spawner is now. So that's where he's going to drop in. He doesn't actually drop in through the middle of this piece. That's a thing to bear in mind, which is why I didn't put it there, say, because he would have fell on the platform at the back. I could be wrong anyway. We'll have a little look and see if it works this time. And I'll try and work out what's happening with the camera, because it should display duration 5. Use defined duration, and that is what the problem is right there. Hopefully, he says. So we'll try it out. Let's do this. Second time lucky. It's all a learning curve, guys. You know, I'm still learning. There is a ton of things you can do in this game, which are super awesome. This is quite a basic thing, but the effects are pretty cool. So in comes Maul facing us. You can move your camera a little closer if you wanted. 5 seconds, and it's faded back to me. And we're good for the fight. Just have a little sneaky blast at him. I can't resist. Especially since Hero's got a lightsaber in his hand. Come on, Maul, bring it. Oh, you got first blows. That's not cool. Not overly impressed with that, Maul. Take some of my special attack. Okay, so that's it, guys. The boss is working. So that's it, guys. That's the boss fight spawn a bit working. The last bit we're going to do is try and set up the AI versus AI battle. So for that, we're going to have to sort of rip the arena apart a little bit. Go back into sport mode. And I kind of want these guys to spawn pretty much identically opposite each other. And I'm going to go for kind of the middle, but a little bit back, because I'm going to be stood at the top watching it all kick into action. So I'll take that piece out there, and I'll take the same out over there. But what I'll do is, just to save a bit of time, I'm going to block this off. So I'll take these pieces out. I guess, no, we will. We'll take it all out, and we'll rebuild. We'll take the doorway out. And the opposite lights. It's pretty much everything out there. Just double check that I'm going to be absolutely symmetrical on the opposite side, which I am. Okay, so we'll just shoot straight over. And it is that piece, yep. Not entirely sure if I'm going to use that piece yet again, so I'll just move that in the middle. Darn it. I've done wrong. It's not what I wanted to do. Oh well. Doesn't matter. We'll put that in the middle. We just selected another one of these wall pieces. I wanted to move that wall piece, not actually just delete it. So I'll put one there. And I'm going to fill the gap over here. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. That's that sorted. Right. Next thing to do. And I also wanted the doorway piece, which I can't remember what it was. Oh, goodness. Oh, well, nevertheless. I'm going to move this piece over. Sit that there. And because I messed up, I'm going to have to go back into templates. It's going to be a bit of a run around. I do apologise, guys. There it is. We'll stick a template in and we'll quickly swap it up to Star Wars mode. Theme all, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty quick, pretty simple. Now I can grab the piece that I should have kept. Possibly, yeah. There we go. And choices. Which way round do we want it? I kind of like it like that. But I think, yeah, it's a little bit more practical that way round. And we want one the other side, which I think is going to be about there, I guess. We'll just swap it up in Spark mode. There it is. Let's have a look. Yep, looks perfect. Excellent. So this is just going to be the entrance, obviously, as you can tell. I think, are we going to be able to put that in? I don't think so, so I'll delete that out of the way. Right, into, if we can find it quickly, build set 5, I think it was. Yep. So I'll fill the sides up. In fact, I might actually move the lights on that side, but I will put some this side. In fact, I'll use the corner ones because they do look pretty cool. Yeah, why not? I don't know. It kind of takes away from that light. No, let's use the flat ones this time around. Right up against the wall. Be careful with these pieces because you can quite easily be away from the wall, and then you don't realise, and you sort of load the toy box and it looks a bit odd. Doesn't look great. No, I guess we'll do one side at a time. I've got some nice wall details. I think I used that one last time around, so we'll use that one again. It's pretty cool. And we'll put it further back this time. Yeah, I think we can get away with that. And the top piece that I used before, I think I used the same one again because it's quite a nice little piece. I'm just going to have it overhanging this time, I think. Give it a bit of a shadow effect. One thing I could do, I'll come back to that. Let's sort out this side for now. Just delete these pieces out the way for a split second. I'll move this light over to fill in the gap. I guess I could leave that one there. It's a little bit of overkill, but we're going to have to delete this one, I suppose. It's all aesthetics, but it just gives it that final touch, fills in the gaps. It's quite good with the Star Wars stuff. You generally can fill in the gaps. I was trying to build something with the Guardians of the Galaxy pieces the other day, and filling in some of the gaps. Some of the pieces are great, but to actually end up filling in the gaps was pretty difficult. Some real ingenuity and funky little pieces to do the job. Wasn't great. Not as impressed as I am with these Star Wars pieces. So that's pretty much that. I think one last thing I will do is go to, if I can find them. Yep, okay, great. The basic blocks. And there's a flat piece somewhere. I think it's the big one. Yeah, great. I'm just going to pop that on top because I do like that. It sort of gives that doorway, you know, a roof. And we're going to change it up. I'm not going to leave it looking like that. I'm going to actually give it the same as the Death Star floor if I can find it. Again, there's so many of these things, it's unreal. Really could build some cool stuff. Goodness knows what you use that one for. Nope, Not that one. It's the next dark one. There it is. So I'm just going to apply that. I'm not going to... Yeah, I guess I could set the theme. I will set the theme. And I'll just take another one to the other side and pop one on there as well. That was a little bit forward, I think. Yep, great. And while I'm at it, I'll stick a floor in. Because this is where the guys are going to spawn. I guess I'm going to try and make that a little bit bigger. I don't want them falling off the back. Hopefully they won't run backwards anyway. And we'll just do the same on this side. Right, so that's the basic build. Let's get the creativity toys in. Oh, before I do, let's just... I think I'm finally done with this. Yep, let's delete this. If I can get the whole piece. Which I can't. And I've also deleted a piece of floor somehow. Kind of odd. Nevertheless, this is the weird one that you have to go high for. And 2 more pieces. 1 more there. And we'll just put that last piece of floor back in for some unapparent reason. That disappeared. There we go. Right, so creativity toys and buttons. So up to creativity toys. If I remember which way is the best way to go, probably not that one, but there we go. Oh, no, gameplay, creativity toys. And it's the same for both sides. Keep it simple. We'll just have one of each for now. If you want more, you can put more in and link them up. But the way I like to do this is I like to have everything at the top out of the way. And if I'm doing AI battles, I'll spawn in on the distance on that corridor there, so you can just run over and have it set up, hit the button, and away you go. But we'll have 2 enemy wave generators. Doesn't matter which way around these things are. We're going to have to make the guys run the way we want them and spawn the way we want them to in a minute anyway. And I'm going to have 2 locators. So it's the enemy wave generator that was, and 2 locators. Oh, I missed one of those blocks on the top. I'll sort that later. And these things, as far as I can remember, about there. We'll put one the other side. Yeah, so I've got a gap there. The guys are going to fall through that darn gap. I'm going to have to move that while I'm here. And just see if we can do that. Yeah. It's kind of annoying. You've got to be so precise with these things. We'll end up spawning them and everyone will be falling through the gap. Apologies for this. But it is kind of cool, you know. You spend half an hour, maybe a little bit less. Just check there's no gap the other side. No, that side looks good. Okay. You know, you spend a little bit of time building this thing. Make sure you save it at the end. And you've got it forevermore. You know, you can, especially with these AI battles, there's so many different enemies that you can throw in. It's really cool. Just check. I want to put that back into position. The reason I've gone back into creativity toys is because I think it's this way. And this piece is great. This is the piece to resistance. There is an inherent problem with all versions of Disney Infinity and spawning enemies. They will not run the way you turn that locator to run. There's a little point on the front of that locator, if you can see it, and you would hope that denotes which way the enemy's going to face and which way it's going to walk. It doesn't. It never works. Basically, your enemies will spawn in the way your toy box is facing. Now, at the minute, we've got our toy box to spawn at the end of the corridor facing that way. So all our baddies are going to spawn facing that way. So what I'm going to do is put this into place. It's an amazing little piece. And as soon as the baddies spawn, they will run that way as the arrow is pointing. Put 3 more behind just in case some slip out the net. And then I'll replicate it on the other side. It's beautiful because you can't actually do it. I'm going to have to move that locator, which is where I had the other one on the other side. But you can have it exactly on the spot where the baddies are going to spawn. So we'll just link up the enemy wave generators now. So we'll tell the enemies where to spawn. Into the settings, and we'll go down to new locator connection. Obviously this is for this side. Connect, spawn location, and you can see the line. Just show you. There's the line denoting where it's going to, and the connection. It's pretty cool. I like that effect. I don't remember seeing that in version 1 or 2. We'll do the same on this side. New locator connection. And we'll connect it up to the locator. Connect, spawn location. You saw the line. And while we're here, doing the enemy spawners, we'll set what we're going to have spawn. And I'll show you how many variations of enemies there are. So configure wave. I'm not going to go into the settings on the enemy spawner too much, guys. I'm just showing you how to set it up. You can always have a play around with those settings at a later date. And there is a mass. I mean, I'm not going to go through them all, but they just go on and on. There's well over 100. So I think just as a demo, we'll have let's have some battle droid commanders. We'll have 10 of those. Going up against, let's see, we'll go into the settings on this one. Configure wave. I think we'll have some, well, let's have some long range stormtroopers up against the droids. Excellent. Very Star Warsy in the Star Warsy arena. So that's those all set, and to kick them into action, I'll just do a sneaky and go back into creative toys to set them into action. There's a few things you can use. Quite like the ability terminal, because it just looks cool. But for this, I think I'm just going to use a simple button. We'll pop that in the middle. Go into spark mode. And we want a new logic connection. When it's pressed, do something. And what we want it to do is generate a wave, which is the wave we've just set up. So it should have a line. There it is. There's the link. And we'll do the same on the other side. So back to the button. Go into the settings. New logic connection. When it's pressed. Enemy wave generator. Settings. Generate the wave. And that's the wave for that side. Just check the line. There it is. So 2 little minor things that are just going to annoy me if I don't do them. One more of these. And if you've not got a flying character, one really important thing for you to do is move the spot where you spawn into the toy box. So as I say, I like to have this over the other side so I can sort of just walk in and have an overview of the arena. See, I'm not using cameras for this. I find it a little bit much to set up the cameras. Just want to keep it basic for you guys at the minute. For two sets of baddies spawning in, it's a little bit much. So hopefully I can come out of spot mode and be over here. It's always a little bit weird, when you come out of spot mode. You never really know where you're going to be. But we'll see if this works. Okay, so great. I am in the right spot. So you can see we've got a nice overview of the arena. And fingers crossed it works. I don't think I forgot anything. I see one little piece over there. Okay, so for the aesthetics, one of those. And one there. Oh, and that one looks a little bit out of place. But more importantly, let's see if this thing works. So one last really important thing that we just need to do to make these guys fight each other which I almost forgot, is come into the properties on the enemy wave generator. And as I'm going down here, you know, we don't want to change the random locator because we've set that already. Countdown, I never use. Generation delay, I always set to 0 because it just means that they'll all spawn straight away. Disable generation effects, entirely your call. Makes no difference really. And hold until all generated. Well, if you want them all to run out together, you could stick that on. So we'll try that. But the most important thing is putting them on a team. So we'll choose blue. I think it's the... Yep, the droids. Okay, so we'll choose blue for the droids. Yep. And we'll choose a different colour. Let's see what we're going to choose for the stormtroopers. Go into properties and, you know, make sure your settings are the same. So, yeah. And I guess let's have them green. So that's it. Last thing to do is somehow turn yourself invisible and stay invisible. Now, you know, I use Violet's invisibility device. If you haven't got that, there is something in the creativity tools. I think it's Doctor Doom's foot or something invisibility device. But it's a little odd. You could lay a load up here and you could stand up and watch it from a distance. You might find it difficult to run around the arena. But as I say, Violet's invisibility device is really the one you want. But let's see if it works. We'll hit the button and hopefully both sets of enemies should run in. Gotta be honest, the droids don't look that blue. Nevertheless, they're battling away. Just zoom in there and see if those guys are blue. Oh, they are blue, so not to worry, it did work. And there we go, guys. That is an AI versus AI battle arena in action. And as you can see with those little sort of arrow things, I forget the name of them now, it does make them run straight into the arena. And as you can see, there's so many enemies that you can have some serious fun with these. So for now, guys, that's it. That's our first ever build video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it was helpful. And if it was, hit the like button and give us a thumbs up. We're going to be doing a few more of these build videos over the next few weeks. I've got a few more ideas, some retro games, and a couple more arenas that I've put together previously. If you want to come and see those, come check out our channel. We update daily. And hit the subscribe button. But for now, thanks for watching. We do hope to see you in the next. And bye for now. Who's going to win this one?